Hi, my name is Tony Pulliam with Come Let Us Reason. We're going to spend a couple of minutes together this morning offering what I think is probably the best argument for the existence of God and supernatural creation, the moral law. I want to begin with a quote by C.S. Lewis, and I quote, "A man who denies the sunrise does not harm the sun," end quote. A man who denies the existence of God does not make God less God, but it does have some serious implications for the one who is denying the existence of God. The universe, planets, stars, galaxies exist. Trees, grass, rocks, flowers, rivers, lakes, streams, animals, great and small, exist. You exist. There are two possibilities that explain this existence, and only two and only two. One, random chance and accident, an impersonal, uncaring, unfeeling process by which you have come to be. Number two, supernatural creation, that everything you see, created by a God that is good, that is benevolent, that loves you very much, and offers direction and purpose. The evidence not only exists, but the evidence is overwhelming for the fact that one of these possibilities is the correct one. So I want us to spend a couple of minutes looking at that. I want to begin with natural selection. We might call it materialism. You may have heard it referred to as evolution, or more appropriate maybe organic evolution. I want to start with that side of things, this random chance and accident without purpose and without direction. Random natural selection, materialism, does not promote seeking the greatest good for the greatest number of people. It can't. Natural selection maximizes the survival of DNA. Natural selection, materialism, contains only physical facts. Natural selection has no means for deciding what is ethical and what is not. It can only describe how people behave, not prescribe how they should or ought to behave. Natural selection is unconcerned, completely and wholly, with kindness and suffering. Therefore, natural selection cannot be the basis for morality. You see, evolution doesn't provide for virtues such as generosity and universal love. So we might ask a question here that's very appropriate. What does it matter if you believe in this system? Who's a slave and who is free? Who's rich? Who's poor? Who's happy? Who's depressed? Who is anything? You see, that system doesn't allow for any of that kind of thinking. So let's talk for a moment about option number two, or possibility number two, supernatural creation and a God who loves you, made you with purpose and direction, or the moral argument for God. You see, morality deals with more than what is useful and not useful. It deals with concepts of right and wrong, what a person should do or should not do. In order to say that an action is either evil or good, one needs an objective and universal moral standard that transcends individual people and individual societies, but at the same time is very personal. One more quote, this time from Immanuel Kant. "Two things fill the mind with ever new and increasing admiration and reverence: the starry heavens above me and the moral law within me," end quote. You see, there is a sense of oughtness in human beings, O-U-G-H-T, a sense of oughtness in us that is pressing on us. Every society, every culture worshiped or worships something. Man is a worshipful creature. People, human beings, have worshipped sun, moon, stars, rocks, sky, wind, trees, lightning, all kinds of things, including himself. And the question is, why this overwhelming, driving desire? And I would submit for your consideration, it's because of a sense of oughtness. God, the Bible says, has placed eternity in our hearts, so we make decisions based on not just the here and now, but what comes after the here and now. Or stated in another way, moral law, a standard revealed by God as an expression of His eternal, holy, just, and loving nature. An absolute, unchanging, holy law that provides the foundation for our conduct. Again, C.S. Lewis stated, and I quote, "You find out more about God from the moral law than from the universe in general, just as you find out more about a man by listening to his conversation than by looking at a house he has built." In organic evolution, morals are byproducts at best. Nothing is genuinely right or wrong. An action is merely pragmatic. Does it work? Does it not work? If it doesn't work, then let's move on to something that does. People are accidents, merely accidents of evolution, so there would be nothing wrong with the stronger, more fit, taking advantage, or the more fit accident, taking advantage of the weaker, less fit accident in order to move ahead. And as a matter of fact, that is natural selection. So why not do whatever you want, to whomever you want, whenever you want to do it, without thought, without feeling, without caring? Just because natural selection is wholly error. You and I are created for a life that is elevated and noble. You see, when morality is divorced from its foundation in God, mankind ultimately has no stable foundation on which to judge right and wrong, good and evil. Thanks for joining us. This is Tony Pulliam with Come Let Us Reason.